today's live on Equa Television International. We're glad you could join us on another fresh episode of the show. Today we're going to be talking about education, and we are live on Facebook, and our WhatsApp community is also active. You can do well to drop your comments on the topic. We're going to be discussing education. Would you prefer classroom or skills? I have engineer Tony Jane Akali.
What's up? Nobody has ever used this line. So nobody will say this is my line. What's up?
Okay.
Even if you have said it, you have not said it the way I'm saying it. What's up?
Nothing up. Prudence Bruga, good morning.
Yeah.
We are still Christians.
I just tested your salvation and you failed.
It's good to be here.
All right, let's talk about education.
I'd rather be skilled, man.
Wow. Tambus Lumon. Classroom or skills?
Classroom.
Prudence.
Nah, not classroom. No. Skills.
Chop
All
knuckle.
the way.
I know we're in church, but chop again. So you say classroom.
Classroom.
You look like a classroom person.
Classroom.
All these classroom people, they'll come and begging us money. We are the ones that earn per second.
Classroom.
We are not doing crypto. We are doing crypti, or we are cryptalizing, or we are doing shoe shining, or we are doing. But we always have.
idle.
We are always.
Classroom. Any day, anytime.
Product of classroom.
But my time was wasted in school. If I had known, nothing would take me. I'd be seeing Mrs. Jambolang and all these my teachers wherever they are. God bless them.
You know.
Let me tell you one thing that happened. I went to a church one day, and we closed. My teacher, intro tech teacher, he always told me that you people are not serious. If you are not talking with girl, you are not in class. You are not even in the school premises. You will never make it in life. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you never make it in life. So lo and behold, one day, I went to a church. I was invited. So I was reversing. So I saw him walking. So I parked. I greeted him. He didn't quite. He said, "Who?" I said, "Tony Nakali." He said, he was trying to remember my nickname, which I can't call on TV. So I reminded him. He said, "Yes." He said, "You are not driving." That was the question he asked me. He said, "You are not driving. Me, you are a driver." I said, "No, I'm not, sir." He said, "Is that your father's car?" At my age, so this is all like 2 years ago. I said, "No, sir, it's my car." He said, "Jesus. Kai na kuskure," that he made it. He remembered what he said. But you see, it was not classroom that gave me that car. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Classroom. If you go to classroom and you finish and you rely upon classroom, you'll be a failure in life.
Okay.
And I can defend that point.
Okay. Yeah. Just before you defend that point, for me, like I said, classroom all the way.
Thank you for cutting me short.
Classroom all the way.
Okay.
All right, this is it.
Joyce, have you learned anything from me? In your life, have you learned anything from me?
Of course.
It wasn't classroom.
Okay.
It wasn't classroom that taught me, that teached me.
Okay.
I didn't learn all the things you learned from me. I didn't learn from classroom.
Okay. All right. Self-taught, right?
I learned from the STREET. It's called hustle. You will not understand that because you're a classroom personality.
Take your point where to get.
Okay. So there are 2 shows going on now. So when next are you traveling out of the country? These people, the fathers, they have gone
For schooling?
Gwagwalada. Classroom will never take you anywhere. Especially Nigerian classroom.
Exactly.
I'm proud of it.
Okay, it's narrowing it down.
I'm saying it proudly.
Okay.
Nigerian classroom will not take you anywhere.
Okay.
The system is built upon the memorization of information. That's what I said last time. And as long as you can memorize that, you can graduate with any kind of result you so wish. But you will be faced with the reality of the trade when you leave school.
You see, I like the fact that you actually restricted or you limited the classroom. There are different forms walls of classroom.
Secondary school where they put you 4 walls without windows and doors. That's the one we're talking about.
Well, I'll give it up to the classroom any day, anytime. This is because I'm seated here because of the classroom. Without the classroom, like, I don't think I'll be here because you won't take the place of rudiments. I'm not against skills, but I will say I'm going for the classroom because it gives you the basis. Now, in today's life, if you don't, you agree with me that if you don't have those rudiments, like, it gives you access, you won't have that access. Why is it that today when you are out there, or when a job, or when maybe a skill is needed or something, you're being asked to bring your qualification, the schools that you went through, that committee has to be set, that people will go and check if you actually finish from the school or not, or all of that. Like, it's a requirement as far as our system is concerned. And so if you don't have that requirement, there is no access. So what would you rely upon for you to get the access? Yes, you have the skills, but you need something that will pave way for you. And no wonder when an announcement is made, maybe when there's an opening, they keep telling you requirements, this, that, and that. So if I have the skills and I don't have the requirement, how do I get the access? So we have a system that, I'm not just talking about the system now, but I'm trying to talk about the lessons that you learn in the classrooms. You don't just learn how to read and write. Like, learning reading and writing, very important. You agree with me? If you don't know how to read and write, like, no matter what skills you have, there's no way you'll be able to communicate well. Today, even if you are a driver at the park, you must have that ability to read and write. We've seen how people were cheated, people were deceived, people lost millions of money because they don't understand the rudiment of reading and writing. And that's why with just pen, somebody can just wipe your account.
So just that you can never get reading and writing basic education or skills from the streets or from skills.
Whoever is teaching you on the street got that from the classroom.
No, that's not true. That's not true. It can be. You see, people are dull today because their mind is limited to thinking classroom has to be someone standing in front of a white chalkboard writing to you and be telling you this is how to do stuff. No.
When you learn by yourself, you create that classroom for yourself.
Okay, but you see, somebody that was skillful taught me. See, we if we don't have a dichotomy of what classroom is, we will be talking about the same thing on the show.
Yeah.
So what is classroom? What is skills?
What exactly? I agree.
No, you that stands for the skill, you define the skill. Let me define what I'm going for.
Okay, skill is something you learn outside of school.
Yeah.
What is classroom?
The classroom is more like
It's more like it's more like it's more like
I need Moses to put beats. I think I would like to share.
he will
that.
carry this. Wait and see now. After this show, you will see. They already know what to do. It's more like it's more like it's more like what is you see?
The
what
classroom
you learn-
is the opportunity you
when
create
go
for yourself
classroom,
to
you are not a
learn.
smart person. All you can do is defend proposals that you cannot deliver.
Well, you say skill is what you learn.
Learn.
outside.
Why are you sounding like you know the truth? When you say skill.
Well, I'm just trying to draw your attention to something. You know, earlier you said, you are disagreeing with the classroom based on where we are coming from. That's Nigeria. Because you said if you rely on classroom in this part of, the world, that is Nigeria, where we are, that, our government don't give...
Africa in general.
All right. Yes. Don't give priority to education. That means you will fail. But like you said earlier, skill is what you learn outside school. But I see in other countries whereby skill is being taught, in the four walls. And then they are doing well.
That is because they found out that if they remain in that four walls without bringing these skills, nobody will go to school.
Yes.
Sir, let's call a spade a spade. Nobody is totally against the educational system. But a skillful guy will sit down and put everything that you are memorizing in school on an app. And then the school becomes useless. Anything the lecturer is saying, the children are ahead of the teacher. You ask this question, they have browsed it already. They are telling you what the answer is. No wonder you see schools now are saying no smartphones, no this, no, because they know that the solution of everything is there. And this is not just because they are craving for us to have better education, Joyce. No, they are craving for the system to remain alive. Should the system collapse, they are jobless. So I want people to wake up. Don't pressurize your son to becoming a doctor, lawyer. No. If your child is telling you, like I told you one time, my son woke up and said he wants to be a carpenter. I'm like, so I've been paying school fees for a while for this boy to become carpenter. I said, no. Look at how fanciful this table is. A carpenter made it. Look at the chairs we're sitting on. A carpenter made it. But we are always limited to thinking carpentry work is all these things we see on the roadside. No. Some people are thinking, I want to be a carpenter, but I want to take it a notch further. That is why the school is thinking, the earlier we imbibe this kind of education and bring it to the classroom, the more we remain a little more relevant. Is my take. I'm not saying people should not go to school, but why do you think Nigerians now are taking their children's schools abroad? It's because of skills, sir. It's not because of education. Because the same thing. Have you seen anybody going to read medicine abroad? I'm asking the lady in the red dress.
Yes.
You've seen somebody going abroad to read medicine. When he comes back to the hospital, who will he treat?
Patients, yeah.
No, I want you to say human being. So say it.
Human being.
But you know what? It's the same thing with a doctor who studied in Nigeria. But your approach to that medical practice will be different because of the skills that are attached to what you went to study abroad. It's not that they won't teach you medicine in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, Bingham University one time produced the most skillful doctors in Nigeria. Bingham University produced the most credible doctors in Nigeria. Bingham University, a university in Nigeria. That is what other people are spending money to go abroad to learn. Do you get my point? So I'm saying that skills, the universities are bringing in, the educational system is bringing in skills so that they don't remain redundant. It's not because they like it. No, they don't want to remain redundant. You have fashion schools today. Do you? You have art school today. Do you? You have medical schools today. Do you? You have different kinds of schools today. You even have a skill acquisition center built by government. Why?
I think that the understanding of the classroom is not just a location that just gathers people and then teach them just how to read or write. And that's why I said this earlier on that
you shouldn't have debated this with us.
I said this earlier on that you can actually create that environment for yourself. Now today, technology has advanced. Now without the
education advanced.
Yes, it has.
How?
It has advanced because
okay. Let me ask you a question, Joyce. The phones that you use in those days, do you use them today?
No.
As a matter of fact, they will show you something. You would argue if it was a phone because you were not born when it was used. I was not born when it was used. We were not born. It was from like 100 years ago. The cars that we saw in those days, Rolls Royce and all of this old stuff, are they the same way they used to be? No. Joyce, has the classroom changed?
The classroom has changed.
How?
Now, today,
No, how?
okay, this is it. Today, you can have your lecture even without going to that physical location, and that's why I said earlier on that education
I didn't
has
say
advanced.
lecture. I didn't say lecture. And thank God you say the show today is more like a debate. That's why I'm getting aggressive. Because I don't do something and not win. I'm talking to Joyce. Please, my friend, keep quiet. I'm talking to Joyce. Classroom. Has classroom changed?
Structure.
The question is
structure. The forward.
the phone that I'm talking, is it not an object? I'm talking about a phone, a physical phone. Don't worry about them because you will confuse them the more. I'm talking about a physical phone.
It has changed.
I'm talking, excuse me, sir.
Because now you will see.
I'm talking about a phone that we used to use. We were using,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It was looking like something terrible. And then the sound which you hear was also terrible. It was clear, but it was not sweet. And it was a one-way kind of effect on the voice you hear. I'm talking about all vehicles. Now they are being modernized. The body, the interior, everything about it is top notch. The phones that we use today, everything about it is top notch. The classrooms that we have today, the schools that we have today, are they top notch? If yes, how? We're listening.
Okay, well,
Let them answer. Then you add later.
Depends. Are you talking about Nigeria or
When I
globally?
talked about phone, I talked about cars. It didn't depend on anything.
I would
Now
say-
we're talking about classroom. Classroom is classroom in Nigeria. Classroom is classroom abroad. Classroom is classroom wherever.
I
So
would
I
say-
am asking.
I will say yes.
You say yes.
Yes, it has changed.
Solo, where did you school? Unijos.
Yes.
Okay. Have you been there recently?
When
When last did you go there compared to when you left?
I think last month.
Last month you were there.
Yes.
What has changed about the school? Be truthful.
Well, that's the reason why.
No,
Is it Nigeria?
That is not an answer. What has changed about the school? Be truthful.
Well,
What
nothing.
has changed about the school?
Nothing.
Have you been to the permanent site of University of Jos?
Yes.
You have been there when it was built.
Yes.
Okay. You have been there recently.
Yes.
What has changed?
Well, I would just say
What has changed?
the structure. The structure.
Which one?
The new auditorium,
Mm-hmm.
and then the nature of the lectures hall.
Okay, lecture halls.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
What is in the lecture hall?
Before.
Do they have an LED screen in the hall? Do they have systems where children can listen? How many people take classes per lecturer? Per lecture. How many people? I was a lecturer, not permanent, but I was a lecturer, and you knew I was a lecturer.
Yeah, yeah.
In the same school, I had 600 and
600.
something students. Teaching 600 and something students. When my friend told me he was
No
leaving,
microphone.
yes, sir.
No amplifier.
I told him his name is Nasir El Said. We still talk on Facebook. And the person that was my HOD is still in University of Jos as a lecturer today. So what has changed? Nothing. Let's bring another topic and discuss before we start throwing bottles at each other.
And I also wanted to say that
Make your
when
point,
you're-
sweetheart. School them, baby. Sorry, sister.
Okay, school.
School them, sister.
When you say a classroom, the first thing that comes to anybody's mind, even if it is a dictionary, you're talking about that building, that four walls that somebody walks into.
Without windows and doors.
And
We
when they
agreed that.
teach you in a classroom, even if the lecturer comes, and I am a living testimony because I slept almost throughout all my classes, literally slept during my classes,
Did you
but
snore?
I'm here.
Did you snore?
No, I'm just like, I'm really always just distracted easily. So a lot of the things I picked up are probably something I picked up from watching a movie, or something I picked up from what my mom was doing at home, or what a fellow someone was doing in church. I basically picked up things, pick. So when you're talking about learning, being educated, or being skillful, everything I picked up from somewhere else, not just that four walls of the school. And so that's why I said no classroom, because the classroom, yes, is there. You teach children you teach students, you teach pupils, you whoever you're teaching in a classroom, be it a secondary school classroom, an elementary classroom, a tertiary classroom, whatever classroom, even if it is an online classroom, how I learn, how he learns, or how you learn is different. So what the classroom doesn't really make who you are. It's the skill that you pick. It's how you have adapted or how you've accepted the information you're gaining. And when you're gaining information, you don't get information just from the class, from the lecturer in front of you, from somebody teaching you. You pick information from what somebody says somewhere else while you're playing around with your friends, while you're discussing with your friends. You pick a lot of things. For instance, even if you're going to a technical school and the lecturer or the teacher basically tells you, this is the basics, this is how you're supposed to do it. Someone would, you're just giving the person an idea. It is up to the person to build that idea or not. So it is the skill that you pick that is essential, not just the foundation.
Okay.
The person
from what you were saying earlier, you said, well, you stepped almost throughout your university days. You literally learned nothing from school. It's really amazing. I hope your lecturers will be proud of you right now. And I hope that in the future you will not take your children to the four worlds. Now the thing is that when I was trying to talk earlier, classroom means like the
So when
uses
I
and
advise that we should not make this a debate, you disagree. Go ahead.
the uses and gratification theory in mass communication.
Wow.
People
Now they're
use
opening books
No,
for us.
no, go ahead.
people use the media to gratify their needs. So I think that's how the classroom is. It means different things to different people, and that is why in the school you find out that people learn. There are people that learn and graduate as best students. There are people that have spillover. There are people that leave the school with literally nothing or thank you for coming and all of that, and they are proud of it. And you find out that there are people living in the classroom that will tell you, I don't want to be here, it's my parent that forced me to be here, and all of that. There are people that learn from experiences, the way from interaction with their classmates. There are experiences that are shared, the stories that, like, a lot of ideas are being spoken or shared within the classroom. Everybody uses it to suit or to his or her own benefit. I said education has advanced because now you don't have to go to the class. You don't have to be inside the conventional classroom that we know that still remains the way it is. You can be at home and create that classroom, and you still learning will still.
Why do I feel like you're beginning to
take
creep
place
into our own side of
I can't remember talking about skills.
Oh no,
No, you don't have to
did.
mention
You
skills.
just did.
You don't have to mention skills to talk about.
Talk
because
about
we are
skills.
talking about leaving the four walls to learn. The four walls is you are seated, others are seated. There's a teacher teaching you.
Exactly.
But somebody became skillful and redefined that,
Exactly.
and you are leaning on it. If four walls was enough, why are you into the trade that you are? I don't want to expose you on TV now. You know you have a trade which you got by skill acquisition, and that is what you survive on it more than you survive on what you ever got from education. See, he's agreeing.
Education made me do the skill better.
No. Education makes you explain the skill better, and people buy it without the information of how it was made. Who cares about how a soap was made? We just buy a tablet of soap and we bath with it. Who cares about how a shed is made? Is it my size? Does it fit? That's it. Who cares about what was used to make it? Doesn't, you see?
Education is all about learning and then acquiring knowledge. So
Yeah,
whether skill or classroom, just ensure you are educated.
Just
She's giving up.
you see, classroom.
She has.
no.
No,
See,
she's
classroom polishes skills.
No, not true.
No,
Not true.
actually,
Which
skill
one
actually
comes
does
first?
that.
You talked about foundation. You don't live in a foundation. You live in a full finished house. Do you live in a foundation? You have never lived in a foundation, but you said that is a foundation. But it's not the foundation that you live in. The foundation is important, however. You know, but you know, the foundation is important, however. But the point is, you are living in a finished building. And that is what skills does to people. See, a skill, sir, one skill can last 50 years. One thing you are educated about can expire in a week's time or two. Because people are coming with formulas, people are coming with educational structures that once a government finishes spending billions of dollars on a particular module, someone is coming with something that you just need to download using data, and the app is free.
I know a lot of people want to be on this set to say, Joyce, can you shut up? Skills rule the world. While some will say, classroom.
Look at how many Nigerians do we have that went to acquire that same education you are talking about. But right now, they are leaning on their skills to survive. Look at the rich, the most influential guys in Nigeria. We have artists in Nigeria, musicians, we have comedians who went to the universities. Some of them even studied law. Some of them are medical doctors. Some of them, the head of master control in Equa Television is a pharmacist. Are you shocked? You didn't knew?
I knew.
See, those of you that are correcting my English, stay there with your correct English. You didn't knew.
You know, the truth is that in this day, like in this day and age, you can't rely totally on, just skill, just the classroom. Like, you have to find a way of, because our time is fast spent. I know some people are really not really happy. They wish they can just be part, but
pick up the mug and stone them.
They
will concentrate on the pain and they will leave us to
for the sake of balance and for the sake of impact. I think it's important that we know that the rudiment, like education, is very important. Like in today's world, when conversations are made, if you're not smart, if you're not intelligent, then you have no place there. Skills would like the Bible said, have you seen a man skilled? He will serve before kings.
Why didn't he say educated?
Wisdom is profitable to direct. So education is very fundamental and is key.
Joyce,
key.
let me tell you something. I have friends. Oh, thank God. I just got back from a trip recently with you. And you sat with someone that we were in the university together. We stayed in the same room. And he was the one that even told you that this guy was in a different faculty. He was doing something different. I was doing something different. And we were in school together. Do you know, Joyce, that if I relied on what I learned in school, I wouldn't be where I am today? But I felt he relied on what he learned in school. He's not doing bad, but I'm doing better. Even if he's watching, he will attest to that. I'm doing better. Most people that are skillful are doing better than people
that relied solely on the
education
class.
Is not wrong. Get it? It's fine. That's why we are struggling to give our children. But like Solo said, it's just a foundation. And that's the best we can do. It's just a foundation we are giving them. But you see, I keep telling my children, success in life is not solely determined on what you studied.
That's why today, even in the classroom, if you're not determined to learn even outside the classroom, you can't make it. When you see people that are even called best students, there's an extra effort. And when you check, there's something they do outside the classroom.
Do you not know that just some days ago, Dangote dedicated his he commissioned his refinery. Joyce, wait to see the people who went to school that he will employ.
Definitely.
He will employ people who went to school, studied this year, even lawyers will be in that refinery. Medical doctors will be in that refinery. Nurses will be in that refinery. Policemen will be in that refinery. Every walk of life, you will have people from there who went to study. But guess what? It might even be an uneducated person that put a lot of things together in that construction. You will be shocked that the people that are ruling this world, they don't have any. I was talking with the VC of our prestigious university, and he was asking me my level of education. I told him. He was shocked. He was shocked. He said, "You are really skillful." I said, "Sir, I know, because I found this out at a very, very. The man that is standing on the camera that is viewing me right now studied accounting. He's a chartered accountant. He counts money. He should have been counting money for a living, but he noticed that the money he'll be counting is for other people. So he joined a creative industry that has given him more exposure than sitting on the table and be signing things that are not his would have given him. He has traveled to places that just maybe. Look at very many people. Very many people. So many people went to study something in the university. When they finish, they say, "No, I want to be a pastor." And they disregarded what they studied. They came back and went to the seminary and studied. You see, what skills will give you if you are diligent and prudent in that? What it will give you, no school can ever give you that. No school.
Little wonder you hear things like, it's not the same classroom we went to. It's not the same schools that we went to. We went to
Some
the same
people,
school,
some people were in school with us. They decided that they will be prostitutes.
Exactly.
Some people decided that they will be medical doctors. But you see, between the two of them, some of them are working under others. Some of them have their own clinics. Some of them have branches. They don't want a full-fledged hospital. They have clinics because they identified that in these ghettos, there are no hospitals. So let me do clinic. Every small headache, you go there. 500, 1,000, 2,000. If you put all this money together from all his clinics, he's driving a car and you say, this guy, he has put in his hand in something different. No. Because you can never understand if you rely on education. You can never understand how someone that is skillful is making it more than you. There are artisans, right? There's people who do menial jobs and all of these things. Joyce, sometimes people with jobs go to beg for money, borrow money from them. Why? Because they are diligent in their skills that sometimes 3 people call them in a day. They say, "No, I have to finish." There is a guy that builds for me. Anytime I call him, he gives me a date that is suitable for him. I'm like, "No, I need you. It's just a small thing. I want you to just come." He says, "Sir, this woman wants to move to our house, so we need to finish it." I don't think Kim has been to a school in his life. He sounds educated, but he's not. He's always in money. They pay him 4,500 per day. In 10 days, he has 45,000. That is what most graduates make on the average in Nigeria. So in 20 days, he has 90,000. So in 40 days, he has 180,000. Less than 2 months. Why won't you go and borrow money from such a guy? So you see, but it's tedious, it's stressful and all that, but we understand. But that is his skills, and these are his skills, and that's the money he's earning. Remember, in fact, you have building, you have planning, you have all this as a course in the university.
I was going to talk about how that now the educational system has incorporated skills into every course. Now you see that beyond just the theory, there are other like skills aspect of the courses that people are being encouraged to utilize, because even the government have seen that is not enough. There's need.
You are going too far. The man that built your house, what is his educational qualification? You have Joe mining, you have Joe planning, you have planning, you have building, you have this in the university. But when you want to build a house, you don't look for people like that. They will charge you more and they will not get the job done. Like the person who is always building and is learning more on his skills daily.
Yeah, that was my
They
character.
take the job and hire
Huh?
the guy.
That was my character.
I didn't hear
If you
that.
don't hire a professional, your house can crack.
You hire a professional, the house can crash.
See, look, people who do things repeatedly stand at the chances of they have the what is the word? Yes, the chances of getting it right every day as they do it every day. But you see a professional who does one contract a year, he cannot even remember what the rudiments of the trade.
Well, I feel whatever
They're speechless.
whatever line you choose, whether skill or school, I just feel just do it well. Just do it well, because we have people even in Nigeria that we said the classroom are not something to even talk about. They go abroad there and they do well. You know, we have Nigerians breaking records of what do you call it?
Help him.
No,
Help him.
great. Like
Educated people help each other there. When you are stuck, when you are at a loss for words, ask us. We are on the street. We
Don't
speak.
get it twisted. Education is
you understand.
classroom.
So if that's the line you choose, you know, to trade on, you know, just do it well. Skill, but I just believe that even the school, it's just that in this part of the world we are not getting it right.
How
because
can you do something
but
well when
but-
you don't know it, sir?
but if you go
How
abroad,
can you do something well when
that
you
is
don't
where
know
they
it, sir?
polish. They tell you this is how to paint.
Oh, guy,
They tell you
education builds.
this
See,
is
school.
But you
this
know,
is how
school-
to measure this.
School builds
It
a
just
threshold
tells
in
you.
your brain. It tells you that's the sum total. It tells you that's the sum total, and you find out what's the highest level of education one can ever get.
Professor.
Okay, are there people who are dropouts or even diploma holders that are doing better than professors, that are skillful
Better in what sense?
in every ramification?
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
Okay, so why
Depending
is
on the area.
professorship the highest?
Educational system.
You see,
Exactly.
a system that tells you that you can reach a threshold, that there is a level to which you can be educated and you cannot be more educated than that, already tells you that it's faulty. But a skillful person, because think about it, if Bill Gates studied what he was doing and they said there is a level, he wouldn't have been this rich. He would have stopped at that level and start recycling knowledge like the professors do. No, of course, no wonder they came, they couldn't even announce results well. Who advised you people to go and use professors? Who advised you to use professors in announcing results?
That's why they're looking
This
for
is
extra
another.
lights.
This is another.
The point is, the professors are needed most at the polling booths, at the polling units, and then the graduates are needed most to announce the results. You see, an educated person will not tell you this. Only a skillful person like yours sincerely that can tell you that. See, you're already ashamed, and we should we should end the show here
Well-
before that brother will change his mind.
Well, I think on Christ the solid rock I stand. All other grounds sinking sand. The truth is that, see, don't get it twisted. Oh, we went to the classroom and we are still skillful. We are not taking that skill for granted. Oh.
Throw the skill away.
So-
Rely on the classroom that you went to.
They are all important. So the thing is that we have a lot of people that went to the classroom, went to the school, and are littered on the streets unemployed because people chose to solely depend on the paper qualification without looking at opportunities out there that they can utilize to make impact as well. So it is important that you don't just rely on just skill and then you don't get educated. And then you just say, no, I want just the classroom. And when you get the two, it becomes better. You excel at it. Like I said, there are people that are very skillful, but at one point or other, they got cheated because they don't just pen and paper, and somebody just ran away with their money and all of that. So it's important that you get the two. Our time is actually fast spent, but I think we can give our final thoughts before.
It's key to know that when we're talking about education or skills, you need to just put your heart into it and do it wholeheartedly. And when I say wholeheartedly, I mean that you want to be better. You're not just satisfied with where you are. You want to be better. You want to grow better. You want to show yourself, like, not show yourself, but like you want to build yourself rather. Make sure that that's what is driving you. Because if you're not working towards building yourself, see, for an instance, you can go to school and learn by the book. So when you come out to perform, to work in these organizations that you want to work, because you want to work in organizations, and you think that because I have a first class or second class upper certificate, they would give me employment. They would give you. But the fact that is that if you're not giving results, they will ditch you. Because they too want you to be skillful. So as you are getting educated or whatever you are doing, please just know that be skillful in your education that you are getting. They go hand in hand.
Theory leaves you with the block knowledge of how things are done. But practicals, they don't just tell you how things are done, they explain to you how things are done. And you get it. You don't get it in the universities. Joyce, you did mass communication. You never had a standard studio where you could do practicals. I know most mass communication departments in Nigeria, they don't have jack. If you want to do communication the way it is an equipment per student. It's an equipment per student because you are teaching them the trade for ahead of time. You are not teaching them the trade so that they can graduate. No. The Bible says, train up a child. The training, like I would always say, is not for that time. It's for when he's graduated and he's living on his own. He doesn't have to call you mommy every now and then. Daddy. No. By that time, he or she is man enough to live on their own. Only if the educational system can be corrected to be seen as a skill acquisition center where you can be taught things, learn things, apply things, do things before you leave, then we can say this, the system has been able to marry both skills and education together.
Well, skill and education, both of them are important. And then whichever one you find yourself, passionate about, just do it with the whole of your heart. I think it's very, very important. Just be extra.
Great conversation from you all. Whatever you find yourself, do it as unto the Lord. The goal should be about becoming better and leaving the world a better place. We'll leave you with the thoughts for the week. See you tomorrow.
Your passport to the future is education, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.
Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. Be open to learn, unlearn, and relearn.
In the words of Leo Buscaglia, change is the end result of all true learning.